the Wild, or called the Wild the Angler. And today, first thing, you need a boat. And there's two areas that I found them. You can see here where I'm at. This little narrow strip up in here. There's some in it. But on your map, this would be showing boat. But let me, because I'm getting ready to get on. All right, Mallard Step, and if you come down to this end, there's one down here called Crow's Eyes. That watering hole, that fishing area, and then there's one up here called Full Stomach, and I think this one Hungry Mouth. That lake and this lake has some, well, they're deep. They're over 100 feet deep in the middle, but the deepest one is this one here, and it's at Silver Strand Meadows Outpost. This lake here, I went out on it, and it's over 500 feet. It's 500 plus feet deep. So, yeah, that lake there. I never did find anything on that one, but these two, this one is it's about 150 foot deep. This one here is right in here is about 135, 40 foot deep. I'll show you. I'm gonna drive down to this part right here, and I'll show you how to catch the big fish. There is a technique to it. First, you need, let me show you before we get off, you need the right reel, and that's this one, the Harpoon. Strength is 44 pounds. Max line strength is 19 pounds, 84 ounces. It's about 8 foot tall, and a moderate, you want a moderate, and the power is extra heavy. You need extra heavy because, turn my light off here. Let me go back. Because you need the moderate and extra heavy power, because these fish, what we're catching, I'll show you. Let me go in here right quick. Let me go to, oh, yeah, handbook. They are, is that them? Lake, no. Which is a trout. Where is it? I got it here somewhere. That's it. No, that's channel cats. Where's the lake trout? That's, no. Rainbow trout, no. Mountain, no. It's called a lake trout, if I can find it. There it is. No, that's tiger musk. Northern pike. Lake trout right there. And that's the biggest one I've caught. You see the weight on it there, 21. That's the biggest one I've caught, but there's been some that are maybe a few ounces bigger. And you see what it says about bait and lure. Spoon, spinner, and crankbait. The spoon is the lure. I'll show you the spoon in just a minute. I'm gonna hit square. This tells you, it says bottom lure, prefers swimming closer to the bottom. Hard fighter. It means tries its best to get off the hook. Yeah. And that third one to me is the most important. Last stand. When you're getting close to getting caught, it fights with renewed vigor. They will do that. Even the ones that weigh less than 20 pounds. I've hooked a couple 8 to 10 pounders, and they feel like the 20 pounders, especially when you get close to reeling them in. But anyway, and I'll read you what it's, or we can listen, I guess.
The lake trout is a freshwater char living
mainly
in
lakes
lakes
in
in northern North
down
America.
To Silver Strand Meadows.
The lake trout is prized both as a game fish and as a food fish. Lake trout are the largest of the chars. The record weighed almost 102 pounds, with a length of 50 inches. And 15 to 40 pound fish are not uncommon. The average length is 24 to 36 inches. The largest caught on a rod and reel, according to the IGFA, was 72 pounds.
Down at Silver
Caught in
Strand
Great Bear
Meadow
Lake in 1995, with a length of 59 inches.
I'll read that, so if y'all didn't get all that. The lake trout is a freshwater char, living mainly in lakes in northern America. By the way, this reserve is in northwest Wyoming. The lake trout is prized both as a game fish and a food fish. Lake trout are the largest of the chars. The record weighed almost 102 pounds, with a length of 50 inches. Well, if you take 50 inches and divide that by 12, which is that 12 inches is 1 foot, that's one that was 4 foot long, 4.1, which is 4 foot 1 inch long. That's massive. And 15 to 40 pounds. The record weight almost was 102 pounds. Yeah, with the length 50 inches, which was it was 102 pounds and 4 foot long. These fish are uncommon. Let's see. With the length, fish are not uncommon. The average length, those sizes are not uncommon. Average length is 24 to 36 inches. Yeah, they're about 2 to 3 foot, an average size. Look at the length on the one I caught, 3 foot. That on that biggest one I caught there. Okay. Let's see. These fish are not uncommon. The average length is 24 to 36 inches. The largest caught on a rod and reel, according to the IGFA, was a 72 pounder caught in the Great Bear Lake in 1995 with a length of 59 inches. Well, let's see how many feet is 59. Because 60 inches is 5 feet. That's like 4 foot 11. Yeah. And it weighed 72 pounds. You can imagine. But I'm not using I'm using a rod and reel, but I'm not going to use a bobber. I'm not float fishing here. I'm going to use the spoon. That's what I'm going to use. It's like a spinner, but it's a little different. I'll show you. All right, so let's go back now. Let's get on the boat, and I'm going to take you out to where I know they'll be. And I'm going to drive out here. I think out here in about center of this, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll show you. Let me stop and let me hit this right quick. Let's see, where am I? Oh, down there it is. There's right there. You see, it ain't bringing it up. It's called a spoon, size 6 hook. But if you look down that center column, it's the one blinking on the bottom left hand side. That's a spoon. That's the one that that works best with these fish. All right, I'm gonna go out a little. Let me look at the map now. Yeah, I need to go out a little further. Turn and go this way. You'll be surprised how quick I hook one. When you do it right, if they're biting, they usually, now, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. They will bite. Let me look at the map now. A little bit further. Let's see. Let's get a little bit further down here. I don't want to go too much further. Let me look at the map now. Just maybe another foot or two. Let's see. That's good. Now, and see, it's going to tell you, by the way, these boats are free. You just have to go like I did and call them. And now hit triangle rather. All right, you see over here to my bottom left hand, that says 35%. That's how much tension. You need to start with that much tension. And the way you roll is you hit L2, hold it back, and flip it out. I'm on the front of the boat. Now, I'm going to bring that ×3 down to ×1, and I'm just going to start. Well, no, I ain't going to roll in yet. See how on the right-hand side here, you see it, the number moving? I threw it about 93 feet. I cast it about 93 feet. The bottom number there, the 135, that's how deep the water is here. You want to go all the way to the bottom. Most likely the big fish ain't on the bottom, but that spoon is a bottom lure, and the trout do hang lower. What I've been noticing is around, let's say that's 135 feet, somewhere around 95 to 100 feet is where I've been getting the bite. But I go all the way to the bottom, and then I'll show you. I start reeling up, and we'll see it. You'll see it. In fact, I feel something on my line now. Something vibrating the remote a little bit. All right, we're still waiting for it to sink. It's at 60 feet now. And when you get a bite, you lock on, and these fish, because they do fight, these lake trout, you need to put your percentage at about 95 to 100, and you can bring them in then. You can bring them in. If you got this type of reel, you need a bigger, and the test line is 19, and my reel and rod is all heavy duty, so that my test line holds 19 pound weight test line. So yeah, I've tried this with my brass monkey reel, which has about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, has a test line of 8 or 10 pounds, or maybe a little bigger, maybe 12, and they'll snap the line every time. You can't catch them. You can hook them with that, but you can't catch them with it. You can't reel them in. See, we're at 80 feet now. You do this, you're going to catch big fish every time. And I'll say, sometime you may get one, and sometime you may. It's not a guaranteed thing, but almost inevitably they're going to bite. If you do it the way I'm doing it, I've had them more times bite than not bite. You just got to do it this way. So, and the reason I put that on ×1 over there on the bottom left-hand corner is because it pulls at a little slower speed, and it's more enticing to them. So I'm at 85.1 feet. It's still dropping. It's got to get to 137, but it's slowing up though. I probably could go ahead and start reeling, but because that's usually somewhere between 85 and 100 is where they bite. But I'm gonna let it go deeper and see what happens till it stops. See, it's already at 136 feet there. Well, it stopped at 80. So no, there it goes, 86.1. It's like it's slowing down. So if it don't get down all the way to wherever it stops, usually it'll go all the way to the bottom, but sometimes it'll stop way short. When you don't see that number moving much anymore, then that's when you start you hit L2 and start and hold it down, and you'll be reeling in. Trust me, they'll bite sooner or later. The deeper the water, the more chances is you're going to get one of those big boys to bite. See, it's at 86.5, and it ain't moved off of it now. Let's see. If it stayed, whoop, there it goes, 86.6. I might let it get to 87, and I'm going to go ahead and, because it's slowed up or it's almost stopped. So that's telling me either it's hit a barge under there somewhere, you know, a layer that it's landed on and ain't going all the way to the bottom much or something. We'll see. Anyway. $86.7. Let's see if it gets to 87. If not, I may go ahead and start reeling. It's not moving. Give it another minute or two. Okay. Then I'm going to start rolling that. Oh, no, there it went, 86.8. See, by the time I start to roll it, it moved one more spot. Let's see, it doesn't move anymore after that, then I'm going. I don't see the line moving much. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling. Usually, I mean, you either let it go all the way to the bottom if the water's not too deep, but with these deep waters, sometimes you ain't gonna ever hit total bottom. You see it stopped at 86.8. That's as deep as it's gonna allow you to go. So I'm gonna start rolling. Here we go. So I'm saying somewhere around maybe between 50 and, let's see, 40 and 60, and I'm at 64 feet now, 60 feet. We may get a bite, we'll see. It may not, because it didn't go all the way to the bottom. I may have bottom. We'll see. Because we're at 24 foot right now. Yeah, I'll have to try again here. But don't get discouraged. You will get a bite, trust me. Okay. Let's where am I at? Okay, I'm on the front of the boat. So let's go to this side over here. Alright, let her go. See, that's 126 feet over there. It might reach that. Let's see how long it goes, far it goes. For some reason, that at 130 something feet, it just didn't reach. If you can get it to reach that depth of the water to the bottom, and then start bringing it up, you will pull one. And usually it's at that depth, around between 100 and 75 feet, that's where you're gonna get a bite. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Well, I say 100, between 60 and 100 feet. And you say, well, why don't you just let it go to about 70 or 75 and pull it, start rolling in? No, because that fish is on the bottom. You go in and lure him up, and he won't bite until then. That's why they're called sinkers. Now, when you're using just a straight, what they call them things, I got it down. I can't switch it. See, we're over 100 feet now. We'll get one on here because it went. That was something, I don't know, glitched on that. It didn't go to just deep enough to lure them. The only time you'd have to reset to 35 and 1 there would be when you catch one, obviously, because the one doesn't really have to be, well, it will be if you pull the reel out the water. When you catch it, you have to reset it to 3. And then, of course, the 35, you have to stiffen up the line to bring that fish in. All right, we're at 126. Here we go. Watch it. We get about 100. Ooh, I feel something on it already. Felt like. Look at there. There we go. And you see he's pulling it out. Pulling me out. So now I need to extend out to about 90. Let's see if I can't bring it in at 90. I might go to 95. Hey, he's still pulling. See there? I got to go to 100. And the way you do this, you hear it cracking. You don't want to come all the way up. You'll bust the line. You do a little at a time, and you hold L2. See, I can maintain it. I told you, you got to go to the bottom. This is a big boy here. He's holding his own right now. He's waging war with me. He's holding his own. I bet this one, the way it feels, it probably weighs somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds. And he's down there at 108. Oh, see, look at there. He's so big, he snapped the line. I have to start again now. I'll recast. See, I got to take off the tension. I had too much. I pulled up too high too soon, and it messed up my bringing it in. You can bring them in with 100% if you do it just right. That was a big fish though, and I had him on the bottom. You see, because it was like 100. I just got up maybe 127 to about just about 100 feet from the bottom, and he bit. So you see how bowed this pole was, and my line is 19-pound test line. So, but I had extended it to 100%. The draft or tension is what it is on the line. How tight it was. You can do it like that, but you got to be careful. You don't want to pop the line like I did there. The way you do that is you don't pull up too high. You stay low, and you kind of just wave back and forth like that. And we'll hook one here in a minute. Hopefully, I won't let that happen again. That was a big one, though. I could tell by the way it was pulling. Howbeit, these fish, like I said, the 8 and 10 pounders will pull, and they feel like the big boys, the 10 plus pounders, you know, the 15 to 20 pounders. So they ain't none of them easy. They ain't like bass fishing. You don't. These don't just give up. You have to manhandle them. All right, I'm at 128 feet. Here we go. We're about 100 foot now. Let's see. We might get a bite here, and we might not. We may have to go up, come up. I'll bet you this one trailing, though. That's what they do. That's what I tell you. Can I tell it or can I tell it? I mean, now I need to put a little more tension. I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to see if I can't. This one's not pulling out. It's at 115. I believe this one I can bring in. It ain't quite. This don't feel as big as that other one, but I got it at 80%. I can still. But you see what I'm doing? I'm only coming up part of the way. This one feels like it might be about 10 pound, 12 the most. But he's fighting though. He ain't going down without a fight. Hmm. 82. But he's at 57 feet. That other one was at 100 foot and over, and he was still down there battling me. That's how he was able to pop the string. This one's coming a little better because I ain't had to put all the tension on there. But sometimes several of those big ones I've had to do that with 100. But this one's smaller. He might be, like I say, I bet you at the most he'll weigh 10 pounds. We'll see. And when you get to a point, you can hit X and it'll lock it in where you can bring it out of the water, but you have to wait till that pops up on the screen. Just keep winding. He's at 10 feet of water. Now he's gone back to 12, but he's pulling me back out. See, that's what they mean by vigor. See there, I had him almost in. Now he's fighting more. He's trying to go back out some. I might put a little more tension on here. 85, see if that'll be enough to hold him. Yeah, see there now, I got him. See that? There we go. Well, I thought I had him locked in, but I didn't. Let's put it up to 90, that'll. There he is. That's a 7. I told you, I said 8 pounder. That's almost an 8 pounder. There he is. Let me take the. Look at that. Nice fish, ain't it? And that's a bronze. And you see right there what I used to catch it. And it took me 2 minutes and 14 seconds to bring that 7 pounder in. 8 pounder rather. And That water's 39 degrees. It's cold water. They like cold water like that. Look at that. All right. I'm gonna release him now. You have to release him. I'm gonna see what I am. I gotta check my challenge. I had a couple of challenges. Look at that. I'm at 33 now on the challenges. And I got to get 88 pounds of any fish. Both them challenges. And let's see where I'm moving along on I'm level 26. Let's see where I'm at here. I'm gonna swing around. On this side is where the bigger ones is, next to this rock. Tends to be at. Oh, move my tension back to 35. Yeah, see, this is 136 feet over here. I don't know if we'll get there or not, but the bigger ones, where that is where they'll be. Let's see how far we get. That's why we didn't catch one the first time, because we didn't get all the way at the bottom. It didn't, for whatever reason, it landed on something and didn't get to the bottom. You don't have to jiggle or twitch with this. You just let her drop and then you just roll her in. Excuse me. It's moving along. The line's moving along pretty good. It's already at 50 feet. Almost 60 now. But that's how you do it, and you wanna level up. That's how you, with them big fish. Now I hadn't been on the other map, which is a Norway map. There's some pretty good sized ones over there too, but my understanding. But altogether there's only 14 variety of fish over there. A lot of them are much bigger, but where there's 21 variety on this map, this American map. Weird hunt. Yeah, this thing's going now. Something glitched on that first one. Cause see, it's going easy on up there to 136. And people say, well, why you let it go all the way to the bottom? Well, that's the way you just designed to work. It goes to the bottom, and then when you start reeling in, it reels it up, and it lures them in, and bam. All right, we at the bottom. Here we go. Watch the numbers, and see if we get a bite somewhere around 100 feet. Be willing to bet you that's where it's going to be. What I tell you, 100, and see, this is a big one. See, he's pulling me out, so I need to go about 80 right there. Let's see. Yeah, that stopped him. It's a pretty good size one. This one might be about 10 or 12. We'll see. Didn't even get to 100 feet. About 115 feet down, and 137.5 feet out. I'm gonna reel him in. Sometimes you can do this with them, but I got it on 80% right now. And whatever you do, don't hit square to cut the line. You fight it till it breaks the line, because you may be able to bring it in regardless. You don't want to cut the line. Like I say, if you put it on 100% to drag, you can bring them in. I've done it. Quite a few of them that way, them big ones. In fact, that one that was 21 pounder, that's how I brought him in. This one here is probably about 10 pounds. I can tell by the way it's pulling. And yeah, we'll see here shortly, because it's at 50 feet down there. You know how much tension. You can watch them numbers when he stops pulling. Now, if he keeps pulling all the way, go all the way to 100 if you need to, till you can get him stopped. Get it tight enough he can't pull. Then you can work him in. See the way it's bowing my boomerang, not boomerang, my harpoon reel. He's at about 10, 12 feet in the water there. 9 feet, 8 feet now. He's trying to fight a little bit more now. That's what they do right at the end. They're going to fight you. But I got enough tension. He's about to give up now. There he goes. I got him. That ain't as big. That's what. Well, no, that's about 9-pounder. So it actually, that one's bigger than the last one I caught. I wanted to see if I could catch. Let me check my challenge board right quick. See what that puts me up to. Well, it ain't. Wait a minute. In there, it ain't. Okay, it's done stop for whatever reason. That challenge board is weird. You can only put so much pounds in per session that you're on. So anyway, let's go this way a little bit and see. Let me put this back down to 35. I want to do one more catch. See if I can nail a bigger one. That one that broke the line was definitely there's 133 feet here. Was definitely a bigger fish. I knew by the way it was pulling. See if I can snag one like that for you. If not, I'll do it in another episode. But we're at 30 feet. By the way, it takes your thing out further that way too, from the boat. That's that top number. It's at 80, 90 feet now from the boat. So that's your depth finder on this game. It ain't on every reel like that. It's just on these reels like these that you use a lure instead of bait. And there ain't no depth finder on the boat. But you can, what I do, if I'm in a place where I'm not using these particular reels, I'm using a small one, I'll pull it out and just cast it out in the water just to get a feel of how deep the water is, so I know how to set my other ones. We're almost on 100 foot there now. Yep, and it's 128, 30 foot from the boat. So. Until next time, this is Farmer Greg saying so long.